Hi everyone, today I am going to teach you the chapter named Inequality, which is a very interesting and fantastic chapter because it is come under the basic mathematics of the 11th and 12th, and it has a broad use in the JE and the JE mains advanced examination because it is included in all the chapters which you have listened. So this is becomes a very interesting thing. It is like the ingredient of all the chapter, so that we have to study this chapter very well. Before teaching the inequality, I am going to teach you the meaning of intervals because without the interval the inequality is nothing. So what is the meaning of interval? So we have mainly studied the two type of interval. This is called the open interval, and this is called the closed interval. This is called open interval, and this is the closed interval. So what is the meaning of open interval and the closed interval? Let's suppose I write a number 2 and 3, and as you are able to see that these are the open interval. That means all the number lies between the 2 and 3, and except the 2 and 3, this will be the answer. So let's suppose let's suppose draw a number line. Here we have the 2 and here we have the 3, and all those number which is lying between the 2 and 3 will come into this interval. If I uses this close interval, that means all those number which is lying between the 2 and 3 and including the 2 and 3 will come into the open interval. And if you use the closed interval, if you use the open, that means except the 2 and 3 all will be the answer. So I think you understand the meaning of this intervals, and now you are ready to understand the inequality and how we have to use the inequality. Right here the x is greater than 2. So what is the meaning? What is the meaning of this inequality? That means you have to find such value of x. This is that is greater than the 2, like the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 up to the infinity. So as you cannot write into the paper how much it is going to have, so you have to use the interval. That means all the values which is greater than 2, that means the greater than 2 means 2 to the infinity. Here we use the open interval, that means you are not including the 2 but you are including all the number which is above the 2, that means the 2.0001, which is also the answer because 2.001 is greater than the 2. So this is why you uses this interval, and this is the open interval. And if you use the closed interval, means the 2 also. So answer, if you use this answer, the closed interval, that means here you could write the 2. But here the 2 is not greater than 2. Anything is not itself greater than itself. So this is why you have to use here the open interval. So all the number lying between the 2 to infinity except the 2. So this will be the answer of this. So now I am going to teach you the Wavy curve method, which is mainly used to solve a huge question or heavy question, which mainly you have to study for the perspective of the JE or the ND examination. So like this question, I am going to teach you the Wavy curve method. Wavy curved method, and this is very important and interesting method. So what is the meaning of Wavy curve method? Let's suppose an example. So for this, let's suppose the x square plus 4x plus 4 is the greater than 0. So how will you solve this equation, and what is the x value so that it will be greater than 0? That means let's suppose this is the b. So you have to find the value of b such that it is greater than 0. It is the greater than 0. So how will you find the value of b? So that according to the Wavy curve method, you will able to find the value of b, as I taken the b as a whole. But mainly you have to find the value of x. So how will you solve? According to the Wavy curve method, you have to first consider that all should be in the linear factor. You have to make the linear factor, as you are able to see that it is the quadratic because the highest power of the variable is the 2. But according to the Wavy curve method, you have to keep the highest power of of the variable is the 1. Here we have the 1, but this is not is the 1. So make this 1. So how will you make the 1? So as I think you may know the middle term splitting, through which you could solve this quadratic equation. So this will be x square plus 2x plus 2x plus 4, and it is greater than 0, and taking the x as a common, so you will get the x plus 2, and here again the 2 common is the x plus 2, and here you will get x plus 2 into x plus 2. So you will get the, so it become into the linear factor, as you are able to see that highest power of this variable is the 1. So the first thing according to the Wavy method we had completed. And second thing which you have to see first, that is making the one side 0, as it is already one side is 0, so you are not have to do anything. If here let's suppose we have written the 1, so you have to send this side 1 and then you have to proceed next. But here is already 0, so you have not to done anything. And the third thing which you have to see, that when this factor is going to be a 0, you have to equate this to both factor equal to the 0. So equate this one first to the 0. So x is equal to 2, so you are getting the value x is equal to minus 2. So here we get the value x is equal to minus 2, and this is also equate to 0, x plus 2 equates to 0, so again you will get the x is equal to minus 2. So here you are also getting the x is equal to minus 2, and draw the number line, and where you have to write the values of the x on which you get the zeros. So we get the x is equal to 0 at the minus 2 in both of the cases, and right here the positive and the negative. Always you have to use one side positive, negative. Let's suppose we have the another value of the x is equal to 3, then positive, negative, positive. In this way you have to proceed. So here we get only the one value, one is the, so right here the positive and the negative. And let's suppose and understand what is the answer wants. Answer wants that any value which is greater than 0. Greater than 0 means the positive, not negative. Greater than 0 means you have to find the positive value. That means your answer should be the positive. So this is the negative region and this is the positive region. So as you are able to see that your answer should be the positive. So set this region which is the positive region. So this region is going to be your answer. And is the, as you are able to see, the equal to sign is not included. So use here the hollow bracket. Hollow bracket means open interval which is like this. And if you get here the equal to sign, then you have to use the close interval like this. But in the question we haven't get any equal to sign, so use here the open interval, and all the values which is greater than minus 2 will be the answer up to the infinity. So use here the minus 2 up to the infinity will be the answer. So this is the answer of this equation or of this inequality. And let's try this hard question which you have to solve according to the Wavy method. So let's try more. So let's suppose we have to solve this one. X square plus 5x plus 6 is equal to x square minus 5x plus 6 greater than equals to 0. So how will you proceed this? As you are able to see that it is in the quadratic form, which is not a linear factor, because the highest power of the variable we have here the 2. According to the Wavy method, you have to make the highest power of variable is the 1. So how will you proceed? So for this, if you want to make the linear factor, so just solve this quadratic problem. So after the solving this, you will get the x plus 2 and x plus 3. So this is what you will get when you will solve this one. As I solve in the mind, you could also solve x minus 2 and x minus 3. This you will get after solving this quadratic equation, and you could solve over the copy if you are not able to directly think how to solve. So this is what you get. And next, how you will proceed? You have to check each and every term or the value of x for which this is going to be the 0. So may this equate to the 0, x plus 2 equates to the 0, you will get the x is equal to minus 2. So right here the x is equal to minus 2, and next equate this one to the 0. So x plus 3 is equal to 0. You will get x is equal to minus 3. So remember that it is going to the 0 at the minus 3, and equate this one at the 0. So x minus 3 is equal to 0, x is equal to 3 you will get, and this you will get at the 2. And just plot this all the points which you will get after equating to the 0 on a number line. So we get here a number line. First you have to write the here 3, then we get the 2, then we get the minus 2 and the minus 3. As I think you know, these are the basic thing on plotting the number line. All the values on which the x becomes the 0 or the linear factor becomes the 0. Now as I said, you have to proceed with the positive sign, negative, positive, negative and the positive. Like this you have to proceed. And now what the answer wants? Answer wants that all values of the x which should be greater than or equals to the 0. That means here, as you are able to see, as you are not able to think this whole thing as the b. So that means the b is greater than equals to 0. That means what value of the b should you keep? So the b should you keep, that should be in the minus, in the like the minus 2, minus 3, because you could not keep the 3 as a positive, because the 3 is not less than 0. So you have to keep all the values which is in the minus. So this means your answer should be in the negative. So set the negative region. As you are able to see that it is positive region, as I get the positive sign. So this one is the negative region and this one is the negative region. So this is all is going to be answer. As you are able to see that here we have the equality sign. So you have to use the this closed circle. If there is no equality sign, then you will use the hollow circle. But here we have to use the closed circle, and here closed circle also. You have to think that in the numerator you have to use the, if you are talking the zeros of the numerator is minus 2 and the minus 3. So at the zeros of the numerator you have to use the closed circle when the equality sign is present, and in the zeros of the numerator you have to use always the hollow circle, even though the equality sign is present or not present, no matter. In the zeros of numerator always you have to use the hollow circle. And now you get the answer, just you have to write in the standard form. So as you are able to see that closed circle means the closed interval, and this is the symbol of closed interval. So minus 3 to the minus 2 is going to be the answer, and this one and this one is also going to answer. So as you are able to see that it is the hollow circle, that means you have to use the open interval and the 2 open and the 3 open. So this is all going to be the answer of this inequality. Using the Wavy curve method you are able to think exactly. If you are not satisfied with this answer, you could put at the value of x and check, and these are all the right answer. Except this all value, there is no answer which is going to satisfy this inequality. And I think you understand how to solve the inequality with the Wavy curve method, and this is one of the interesting or fantastic method of solving the inequality, which name is the Wavy curve method. And thank you for today.